There are moments in life when time seems to pause, when everything a person ever believed about themselves, their choices, and their past suddenly crashes into the present with the weight of a tidal wave. For Elena Ward, the CEO known for her flawless precision and icy authority, that moment arrived inside a hospital corridor, beneath the cold glare of surgical lights, when she glanced through a glass window and saw the face of the man sitting in the donor's chair. The men she had once laughed at. The men she had mocked publicly. The men she never thought she would see again, yet here he was, offering his blood to save her daughter's life. And in that single instant, the world she controlled so confidently suddenly felt terrifyingly fragile. If you believe in second chances, unexpected kindness, and good people returning good even when life has been cruel to them, then please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Thread to support stories that remind the world of humanity. Elena had built her empire through immaculate discipline. She was the kind of leader people admired from afar but feared up close. Her schedule was perfect, her appearance flawless, and her reputation cold and untouchable. But the one piece of warmth in her life, the one thing that softened the hardened lines of her face, was her 8-year-old daughter, Mia. The little girl with curly hair, bright eyes, and a smile that could shatter her mother's corporate armor. Mia was Elena's grounding force, the reason she pushed so hard, the reason she sacrificed sleep, friendships, and even her own softness. But all of that was ripped apart on a rainy Thursday morning when Mia collapsed at school. Elena had been in the middle of a meeting when her phone vibrated urgently. The voice on the other end was trembling, panicked, telling her there had been an emergency. By the time she arrived at the hospital, Mia lay unconscious, hooked to machines, her tiny body looking fragile beneath the tangle of tubes and wires. Doctors rushed around, murmuring words Elena struggled to process. Severe blood loss. Internal complication. Immediate transfusion needed. Rare blood type. Limited matches in the system. Elena, usually composed, felt her confidence collapse like glass under pressure. The moment the doctor told her they hadn't found a compatible donor yet, her world cracked in a way no business failure ever could. While a frantic search continued, a nurse informed her that a man had arrived, someone who had been called because his records showed a high compatibility match. Elena barely cared who the donor was at that moment. All she cared about was Mia. She signed the consent papers with shaking hands and clutched her daughter's small fingers as tears rolled silently down her cheeks. The doctor assured her the donor had agreed. Elena whispered a thank you into the chaotic air, not knowing to whom she owed this moment of hope. When she finally stepped into the hallway, needing air, needing something to hold on to, she glanced through the glass window of the donor room. Her breath caught. Her heart stopped. Her hand flew to her mouth as if trying to contain the shock that surged through her. She knew him. Liam Hart. The single dad she had belittled a year ago in front of an entire cafe. She remembered everything, the spilled coffee, her anger, her dismissive words about people who can't manage their lives, and the way he had stood silently, absorbing all of it while holding the small hand of his daughter. Elena had walked away that day with a sense of superiority. She had never imagined that same man would one day be sitting quietly under the fluorescent lights, willingly giving something that could save the only person she loved most. Liam, wearing a faded work uniform, sat calmly as the nurse prepared the equipment. His posture was steady, but his eyes carried the exhaustion and quiet resilience of someone who had lived through storms most people never saw. Elena's chest tightened as guilt clawed its way through her. She had mocked this man. She had dismissed him as insignificant. And yet here he was, showing a level of humanity she had failed to show him. Unable to stop herself, Elena took a step forward and watched him. She saw the tape on his arm, the slow drip of blood filling the bag that would be used for Mia. She saw sincerity in his expression, not resentment. No recognition of her past cruelty. Just a man doing something selfless because he believed it was right. Liam had been a single father for 4 years, ever since the loss of his wife left him raising their daughter, Lily, alone. Life had been unforgiving, but Liam never complained. He worked long hours as a repair technician, took on extra shifts, skipped meals when money was tight, and still managed to attend every school play, every parent-teacher meeting, every moment that mattered to Lily. His world was small but filled with love, a love he protected fiercely. He had been called to the hospital after Lily's routine blood test had flagged Liam as a rare match in the National Donor Registry. Without hesitation, he had rushed over, not knowing who the recipient was, only that a child needed help. For Liam, that was enough. When Mia finally stabilized after the transfusion, Elena was allowed to sit beside her sleeping daughter. Relief washed over her in waves so strong that she felt weak. But beneath the relief was a heaviness she couldn't ignore. She owed her daughter's life to a man she had hurt deeply. Hours later, when Liam stepped out of the donor room, still pale but steady, Elena approached him. She felt small in that moment, not as a CEO, not as a powerful figure, but as a flawed human being struggling to swallow her pride. She tried to apologize, tried to thank him, but the words tangled in her throat. Liam simply nodded, offering a gentle smile, the kind that held no grudge, no bitterness. He assured her that any parent would have done the same. Then he left, disappearing into the quiet evening with the same humility he had carried into the hospital. In the days that followed, Elena couldn't shake the memory of his kindness. She found herself wondering about his struggles, about Lily, about the kind of men who gave so much while expecting nothing in return. For the first time in years, Elena felt something unfamiliar, the desire to be better. To be kinder. To be someone her daughter could admire not just for her success, but for her heart. As Elena watched Mia slowly recover, she realized that life had given her a chance, not just to thank Liam, but to rewrite who she was. She decided she wouldn't waste it. She reached out to him again, not as a CEO, but as a mother humbled by grace she hadn't deserved. And what began as gratitude slowly turned into an unexpected bond between two parents who knew struggle, sacrifice, and the power of unconditional love. If this story touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Thread so these real and emotional stories can reach more people. Before you go, please comment below. Kindness changes everything.